Mick Corrigan here from Action Coach. I'm here today with Stephen Ryder. Stephen is the director of Duoline Access. Welcome, Stephen. Great to meet you.
Yeah, good to meet you.
So kick off and tell us a bit about your business.
Okay.
What's it all about?
So Duoline Access has been around in its current format for about 3 years now. I was a subcontractor before then. Been in the business now for about 8 years. I started off as a subcontractor. My first project was in Denmark. We are a working at height specialist company, mainly concentrating on industrial abseiling, or rope access as it's known in the industry. We've worked on huge amounts of business and different building types over the years. But I've spent a huge amount of my career in green energy and servicing and repairing wind turbines.
You must have seen some great views in your time then.
Absolutely, yeah. So I think I've worked in 8 different countries. I've been all over the world and seen some amazing things and seen a lot of sites generally people won't get to see. So you are 150 meters upwards and you get to see the land from a very, very, very different perspective. I've seen dolphins swimming underneath me. I've seen eagles flying. It's a fantastic career to be in.
Sounds amazing. So what type of customers are you working for?
So predominantly, we do quite a lot of construction work in the UK. They will vary from window cleaning projects. We do a lot of installs. Rope access is very different in its entirety. So you tend not to work on very long-term projects. Most of the time, it's quite short-term projects. So it will be, Steve, can you go and fit? Can you get 2 guys to go and fit a piece of signage on the side of a building? Or can you do a brick repair on the side of a building, or things like that? So they tend to be very small projects. There is some projects we work on which will be installing safety nettings on buildings. That will be for installation of glazing or specialist roofing. We do quite a lot of that kind of thing. I'm also heavily involved, well, I would say a little bit involved in the wind sector still. We have a project currently running in Canada, which is a wind turbine repair, blade repair project. We team up with another company based in Denmark, and I supply the labour and the staffing, and he delivers the project.
So lots of different jobs, but all at height.
All at height, yeah.
Yeah.
So
and
99 we do is 50 meters plus.
Yeah. And what would you say differentiates Duoline Access to other options that might be out there for businesses?
I think the main difference is speed, safety, cost, convenience. I was asked to go for a job last year, and it was a gutter repair. Very, very, very simple gutter repair. However, the building was, they had to shut the front doors just because of the gutter repair, because the gutter repair was straight over the front entrance. Approximately, to scaffold, it would have been about £20,000, because they would have needed to scaffold pretty much 50% of the building to make sure it was secure. My guys could do it in about an hour and a half, and it probably at less than 10% of the cost.
Wow, that is a big difference.
Yeah, because I just send 2 guys on a rope. They just abseil, a meter down the building, climb back up, and it's done and dusted in an hour and a half. It's rope access in comparison to scaffolding for for small jobs is massively cost effective. There's just no comparison. It can take a week to build a piece of scaffolding big enough. Sometimes, often we can do it in half a day.
So I guess one of the key issues for you guys is getting people to be aware of that as an option.
Yeah, it's a bit of an unknown industry, really. Everybody's default is to go for scaffolding, and I would say in quite a lot of occasions, rope access is far superior. It's faster, safer, less risk to the public. It's significantly cheaper to send two guys on a rope. You know, you're only paying for one tradesman. You're not paying for, you know, 4 scaffolders, then a tradesman. I have about 160 subcontractors who work for me intermittently throughout the I was going to say the UK, but throughout the world, all of which have specialist fields. So if I need an electrician to go and do a particular job, you're just hiring a rope access electrician to go and do a job, not a scaffolder and an electrician. So the costs are minimum in comparison to what you need.
So what does the future look like, Stephen? What are the opportunities and challenges ahead for you?
I would say that it is both challenging and promising in my eyes. It's always challenging because the cost of labour is significantly increased over probably about the last 18 months. We've seen that really come into the industry where subcontractors are costing a lot more money than they previously cost. I think our labour bill is somewhere around 30% a day more than it was previously. However, that brings with it huge amounts of opportunity. I think clients are becoming a little bit more savvy around what the best cost-effective, safe option is, and then moving towards rope access rather than scaffolding. Because when things start to get tight, people start to look outside the box. So it is both challenging, but very, very promising for the industry because we are by far the cheapest option, definitely for smaller jobs.
So education and communicating.
Education to clients is probably the biggest challenge because everybody thinks it's really, really niche and really, really specialist. But I've worked on hundreds of everyday buildings such as schools and office blocks over the years. Stadiums, you know, I think stadiums are getting quite clued up around that rope access now. A lot of them use rope access as an alternative to scaffolding and cherry pickers because it's fast. It's fast and cheap.
So over the time you've been in business, Stephen, what have been the biggest learnings that you might be able to pass on for people?
I think probably the biggest learn is people are your biggest asset. However, they do take up the most amount of time. Trying to find the right person for the right job becomes very challenging. I've now got some systems in place that allow me, my data collection of my subcontractors is significantly more robust than it was previously. And what it's done is it allowed me to streamline the way I pick the right person for the right job now. Rope access is probably different than most industries in the fact that rope access is just a means of getting there. Then you need the right person who is qualified to do that particular role. I think learning how to streamline things earlier on would have saved me an awful lot of time. And my network is enormous, but that's probably grown over the period of time I've been in business, and I wish I'd have probably grown that network a little bit quicker.
Yeah, good learnings. Thanks for passing those on. And I wish you all the best. It sounds like you've got a great opportunity ahead of you.
Thank you.
Let's look forward to businesses realizing there's another option other than scaffolding.
100%. That's exactly what we want.
Fantastic. Yeah. Thank you, Stephen.
No problem.